Hello there, this is News Desk. I'm Bernice Abubeidu Lanza. Top stories this hour. Former President John Dramani Mahama blames religious leaders for Ghana's economic woes. We've got more as flag bearers of the governing New Patriotic Party and opposition National Democratic Congress hit the road in thank you tours. Also coming up, motorists who use the Tema motorway worried about the absence of crash barriers. We've got details of these plus some business news in this package. Kindly stay for details. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of News Desk. We are live around the world via myjoyonline.com, on DSTV, Go TV, and also on your digital televisions because we are free to air. Let's start off with some politics. This is your election headquarters, and former President John Mahama says the clergy and civil society organizations should partly be blamed for the country's economic woes. He believes these groups have failed to criticize government for its profligate spending of loans contracted. He's been speaking at the Techiman Timber Market as part of his two-day tour of the Bono East region. Here's Nanaya Aljima's report.
According to the former president, loans contracted by the NPP government, which he pegs at $3 billion annually, were not invested in productive ventures. He says the watchdog roles of various actors were left to the NDC alone.
Akoya se empenyimfo omo mudi ekan asafo penyi imamfo ne adeade omo wo se omo kan nokre ekire omo hwe oman no so.
The clergy, civil society, and others in authority reneged on their watchdog role. From 2018, all vigilant people noticed the economy continued to dip. The economic crisis was imminent. Only the NDC told the president that his brother, who serves as finance minister, has refused to use the $3 billion loans contracted every year judiciously.
Now, Obianka se membobusia, but bobusia, what is kanaba? Fa ye addicted to Japadia, ebesombo ama omaino.
To the NDC, the ruling government has admitted its inability to put the country on the right track.
Nanu President Ankasa Ibusano say Jessica Semsen ya say Esiafano obeye hundei.
The president himself, in response to questions on the economy, admitted it would take the next president to fix the country. He has lost hope himself. We know that the John Mahama administration is the government to fix the challenge.
And President John Dramani Mahama.
The Building Ghana tour made a stop at Techiman Magazine, where a town hall meeting was organized to seek the concerns of the public for the NDC manifesto for 2024.
And a
national apprenticeship program campaign policy was preferred as a solution to challenges of apprenticeship raised in the meeting.
Adia ebema economy ejina na nanso ene se yemanyina se wako school mpoa obetimi esua onsano ejuma kakra.
Skills training is one of the means of reviving the economy. Even graduates will have to learn a skill. Even if you want to travel abroad, it is easier to get a job as a skilled person. No matter your qualification, you should learn a skill.
Then we have a national apprenticeship program. Now we are per se in Ghana.
At Benkrom in the Kintampo North constituency, a donation was made to victims of the recent floods in the area. The former president called on government to resource the National Disaster Management Organization for such purpose.
Abraye wa ban afibia yetisika esiho edema aban ejuma ye friend nadmo enti atorenchem bia sia omutimiba ebeboa omo a sa atorenchem no aka omo.
When we were in government, we released funds for the NADMO promptly for disaster management. But this time when the floods happened, NADMO told us they haven't received funding for the last 2 years. I will plead with government to fund NADMO to support disaster victims.
Well, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has criticized former President John Mahama for what he says are empty promises to Ghanaians in the former president's quest to return to power. Dr. Bawumia contends that the former president lacks thorough understanding of his own policies, particularly the 24-hour economy initiative. Samuel Imbura reports.
2024 is a grand deal for His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. And in fact, the issue is that Obama has already done some to this country. And in fact, so we don't want him to come and then do spiritual harm to what? This country.
The vice president was warmly welcomed by enthusiastic party supporters during his homecoming tour in his native region, Northeast. His visit included a courtesy call on the overlord of the Mamprogo Kingdom in Nalerigo, followed by a grand rally in Tamale, the northern regional capital. Notable party figures including the MPP national chairman, majority leader, and the entire northern MPP MPs caucus joined him. Dr. Bawumia addressed the supporters expressed surprise at the campaign messages of NDC flag John Mahama.
He's going around the whole country and promising everything to everybody. It is as if he has never been president in this country before. It is as if he has never been president. It is as if he has just landed from Mars.
He particularly criticized his understanding of the 24-hour economy policy.
Today, because of digitalization, the banks, you can transfer money 24 hours. You can receive money 24 hours. Isn't it? So he doesn't understand his own policy. It does not make sense. And I want you to vote in 2024 for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I will bring a new vision. I will bring new policies. And we will transform this country. John Mahama is the past.
While highlighting his own achievements as vice president, Dr. Bawumia challenged Mahama to present a single idea from his tenure as vice president.
What idea did he bring as vice president? He did not bring even one idea to the table. And I challenge anybody to tell us one idea that Dr. Mahama brought. Dr. Bawumia has brought idea after idea after idea after idea.
Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu asserted that Dr. Bawumia is pivotal to reshaping the economy, a reason all of them are supporting him.
Bawumia, we have tremendous belief that with him, this country will experience a turnaround. He is the one with the key. He is the one with the key to reposition this country. That is why all of us are following him.
Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and MP for Damango, Samo Abujenapo also emphasized that Dr. Bawumia's selection to lead the MPP is based on his integrity, not because he is a Northerner.
And we present him not because he's a Northerner, not because he's a Mamprugu, not because he's the great son of Nagbewa, not because of that, not just because of that, but because he has shown that he's a competent Northerner, he's a hard-working Northerner, and he has a vision to transform this country.
The Vice President's homecoming tour will extend to Yendi, Bimbila, and Damango in the Savannah region later in the day. Samuel Mbura, Joy News, Tamale.
So you've had our reporters on ground with these two flag bearers of the governing New Patriotic Party and the opposition NDC. Let's start with Samuel Mbura, who is still with the Vice President's team. Samuel, where has the team reached now? What are we expecting today in the Vice President's itinerary?
Well, very if you can hear me, I'm reaching live from the Yana Palace here in Yendi of the Northern Region. The Vice President, who is the flag bearer of the FCC, is currently with his entourage paying a courtesy forum on the Yana. He actually started the campaign.
Sorry, Samuel. Hello, Samuel, if you can hear me, it's very difficult to hear what you're saying. Your voice is being drowned. I perceive there's a ceremony happening as you're speaking to us. If you can find a much more quieter place so that we can hear what you're saying. While we try and work on Samuel Mbura's line, you've heard from these two flag bearers. We heard from former President Mahama, who is saying that, well, not politicians must not be the only ones blamed for the country's economic woes. He's blaming religious leaders and some others. And then we've heard from Dr. Bawumia, who says that the former president has no message and doesn't even understand his own policies that he's touting as part of his campaign. Let's get some analysis on this. Political scientist Dr. Kwame Asasante joins us for more. It's a pleasure to have you here. Doc, first of your impressions, we've already hit the ground running. These two individuals have started their campaign in earnest. They call it thank you tours, but we all know all what is geared at achieving. Your quick impressions of the political activities we are seeing from these two currently.
I think that as you and I have observed, the campaign has just started, and they are gearing up. They are getting the basics right and making sure that they ginger everybody for whatever they have for us. We look forward to a campaign that is devoid of rancor, bickering, violence. We want to have issue-driven campaign so that we can interrogate the issues and then decide which of them is worth our leader. So for me, so far, it is early days yet, but I hope that we'll be able to organize the decent campaign and then it will be issue-based.
And so far, are you impressed with the messages we are hearing from these two politicians? Are you hearing the issue-based conversations you're hoping to hear?
You are getting bits and pieces, but I will pardon them in the sense that the campaign has not fully started. So I'm sure for now, what we are doing is to get all their acts together and then launch the campaign in full swing. So for now, I think we can forgive them, but we believe that whatever they are, if they really want to get everybody along, they should begin to send a few of them out for us to know that they have something different from the previous years and they are ready to deal with our problems head on.
Right. These two have one thing in common, which is that they have both served the country, both as vice presidents and for Mr. Dramani Mahama as president also. So there's going to be a play-up of who has done what during their tenure. And we've already seen Dr. Bawumia playing along those lines. He, for example, is asking or throwing a challenge to former President Mahama to tell us what ideas he came up with when he was vice president. He also talks about the fact that the president doesn't understand some of the policies he's touting now, and he's speaking as though he didn't have an opportunity to serve us. During the build-up, just a minute, during the build-up to the elections for the flag bearer of the NPP, there were those who came strongly at Dr. Bawumia, saying that his influence in this particular government and what we are seeing currently with our economy will affect him badly. Do you think that he playing up this card is a shot in his own foot?
Oh, seriously speaking, what the Vice President is saying, he's just opening himself up for all manner of attacks and all that. But if you look at it from the other perspective, you can also grant that what do you expect him to say? If his opponent is coming out strongly in terms of ideas and all that, he also must counter. But in all these things, what we do is that in campaign, you come out with message that will really stand the test of time. You can play propaganda. You can, do all manner of things. At the end of the day, you have to bear in mind that the people you are dealing with are the enemy. So that will usher us into another realm, the realm of records. Remember that politics is contest of ideas and referendum of your work. So you see people are now calling for ideas. Come out with your ideas that you have about the problems and solutions of this country. And then people are also calling for what? The record. If you listen to the Vice President, all that is saying point to the fact that tell us what you did when you were in office. So records will come up for discussion. And I believe that will begin to usher the campaign to its full swing. I hope and pray that they will move along this line. And instead of their sticking to what? Swipe and then character assassination. We don't want that. We want real issue discussed. So I will propose that, the media should be able to create a platform where there will be what? A live debate on the issue. And let's see who is who. And then that will also give citizens the opportunity to interrogate the issues, assess the issues, and at the end of the day, make informed judgment about what it is.
I appreciate your time here this morning. Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante is a political scientist at the University of Ghana. We'll stay in touch with you as the campaign heats up. But let me go back to Samuel Mbura, who is with the Vice President's team. They're on a thank you tour in parts of the northern sector of the country. Hello, Mbura, if you can hear me now, just let us know where you are and what the Vice President's itinerary is today.
Good morning, Veris. I'm with you live from Yendi, specifically the Yana Palace, where the Vice President and his team are paying a courtesy call on him. It actually started yesterday in his native region. That is the Constitution region where he had a warm welcome from them. Later, he came out today with a mammoth crowd in Tamale to address them. And that's where some of these issues of criticizing the former president policy, and also talking about what he intends to do if he is given the mandate. He has been reiterating the fact that he has his own path to cut. If he's given the opportunity, he wants to turn around the economy. He has new ideas and that Ghanaians to ignore the empty promises by John Mahama and then rather concentrate on him, because he has the track record. Even as Vice President, he has contributed his ideas towards the development of the Akufo government. But the situation is not the same with John Mahama. Even at the time, he wants to be Vice President. So he's really challenging him to produce a single idea that he supported the President under the NDC government with. So today, he would talk to or pay a call on the Ghana, Abukari Mahama II, and subsequently, he would continue the tour to Bimbilla constituency. It's not quite far from here. Bimbilla constituency is occupied by the Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwo, and then the Yendi constituency is the MP is Farouk Aliyu Mahama, the son of the former Vice President of the Republic. So he's been warmly welcomed here at the Yana Palace, and they are currently following the traditional procedure. And he's been accompanied by the national chairman of the NPP, Stephen Ayensu's team. We have Champ Onsimi, who is representing all the chairmen across the country of the NPP. We also have the big wigs in the NPP. The Northern FP caucus are also fully supporting him. Yesterday we had the majority leader of the being part of this. So right now we understand this is equally important activity we have to live, and a host of others coming. So today the itinerary is actually packed. After Damango, you head towards the surveillance region where he would be addressing the people in the surveillance region. Surveillance region is the home region of John Dramani Mahama, and the supporters are patiently waiting for him over there. So I must say the tour so far has been successful. But one thing that has been unique has to do with the fact that throughout the tour, he has been using a bag to convey his team. Unlike we know in Ghana, the political rallies, we have the V8 cars moving around in longer queues and all that. But he is currently using the bus that you are seeing on the right to move around with his team. The media also in the same bus with him there. So he says he wants to cut down expenditure in terms of his movement and his campaign, and that would reflect in his campaign. So at the moment, Dennis, we are yet to hear from the Yana what message he has for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for presenting himself and thanking the people of the northern region for giving him the support he needs, the MPP. Yesterday, he already had the blessing of the chief or the overall the overlord of the Mapugo kingdom. That is his home to him. He also conferred to him a chieftaincy title, a non-discriminatory person. That's the title they have given him. Bawumia is a non-discriminatory person. So we are waiting to hear from the Yana what he has to say, and then we'll move to subsequently Damango and Sabova. If you don't have further questions, I'll hand you over back to the studio venue in Accra.
Right, Samuel, we'll leave it here for now. That's Samuel Mbura, who is traveling with the Vice President team. He's embarking on a thank you tour after being elected as flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party. Let's now touch base with the team of former President John Dramani Mahama. My colleague Nanaya Jima is also monitoring their events closely, and he has live details for us. Hello, Nanaya. Where is the former president now, and what does it look like today for him in terms of the people he's meeting and the agenda?
This morning, the John Mahama campaign team moved from the Bono East region to the Ahafo region, and immediately campaigning all the tour of the region have commenced. It is the wrap of the first phase of the Building Ghana tour of John Dramani Mahama. On this tour, what he is doing is that he is listening to the people, and this will feed into the manifesto of the National Democratic Congress for the 2024 election. Just as he has been doing everywhere he goes, he meets some stakeholders to take their challenges. And the first place that today he visited is the St. Joseph College of Education at Piching, and presently he is engaging with students and staff of the College of Education. Opening this meeting was a statement from the SRC president of the school, and he tabled some concerns before the John Mahama team. And what he is saying is that the school is challenged when it comes to infrastructure. There is infrastructure deficit here in the school, and he wants John Mahama to take note of that, and if possible, include that in the party's manifesto, how the party is going to solve this challenge when voted for in the next election. And also, he also raised concerns about the teacher licensure examination that has been prominent on the tour. What he said is that it is not fair for teachers after the 4 years training in the colleges of education to sit for another exam before they qualify for a license as a teacher. And in response, John Mahama said already there's been a promise to cancel the examination and replace it with something, or replace it to another, may probably replace it with an interview or another form of means that will be used to assess these training college students or these training teachers. to ensure that they are able to be granted the license that they require to practice as teachers. And from here, the John Mahama team moved to the Betim town itself to engage with the people there. There will be a town hall meeting where various stakeholders, economic groupings will be put together, and their concerns will also be taken by the John Mahama team. And John Mahama will also get the opportunity to address them and assure them that the next NDC government will ensure that the concerns are well solved for the prosperity of the country. So basically, the team today will be touring various areas within the Ahafo region, and it is a 2-day tour to the Ahafo region.
Then let's now hear a bit of what the former president is saying to staff and students of the College of Education there.
To borrow them money to buy the cocoa crop for the next season. And then when they ship the cocoa, they pay back the syndicated loan. When I was leaving in 2016, we went and took $1.8 billion to buy cocoa. This year, because of the economic crisis and because Cocoa Board is broke, they cannot raise even 800 million. And even as they are struggling to raise 800 million, they want to use 300 million Ghana cedis to buy torchlights for farmers. That cannot be a priority at this time. And so you need a government that will prioritize things. One of the major problems you are facing, why infrastructure on your campuses is not going forward, is because government has borrowed money against the GET fund. And so money that should have come into the GET fund to pay contractors who are working on projects in your colleges and your secondary schools has been taken in advance through the 7-year Dache bond. So currently the GET fund has no money to pay contractors who are working on projects in your schools. And so what we're saying is that the Dache bond should be added to the debt restructuring to free up the money to come into the GET fund again, so that we can build hostels for you, we can build classrooms for you, we can build dining halls for you, we can build administration blocks for you, and put the infrastructure in place so that you can have a good learning experience in this college.
Thank you for staying on News Desk with me, Bernice Abubedulansa. Away from politics, drivers and commuters plying the Accra-Tema motorway are asking relevant authorities to fix crash barriers on that stretch. They say the absence of these barriers threaten their lives because they may fall in the drains, obviously, while navigating the numerous potholes around these drains. Rejoice Semefa Besu has more.
To the untrained eye, it is a normal day on the Accra-Tema motorway. For months, the road has been deteriorating with some speed. The speed limit on this stretch reads 90 kilometers per hour, but with the iron rods popping out in gaping holes on what was once Ghana's express road, driving at 90 kilometers could be suicidal. Drivers have to drive at a tortoise pace in order to navigate the dangerous potholes. Apart from the dangers posed by these dangerous potholes, these drivers have other challenges to deal with on the road. A number of the bridges on the motorway are without their protective metal railings, and for drivers, it adds to their fear. Jerry Asamoah uses the motorway daily. He says the absence of the crash barriers adds to the already precarious situation they find themselves in whilst driving on the road.
Also, we are very, very careful because of
the open drains on the road are dangerous. Imagine someone driving at speed from the runabout and losing control. They need to fix them with some iron crash barriers.
Alex also uses the motorway. He fears the absence of crash barriers increases the risk level on the stretch and wants the defect to be fixed.
This is for crossing all because the cars will be passing there, come to a motorway top. So that will decrease accidents. So I'm sure that that's for setting that issue out. So this is for 5 days today. We'll be here. 2 persons there for you.
Some pedestrians are also concerned about the danger.
See whatever that is happening. We are not feeling comfortable, but we don't have any way out.
Although government has plans to reconstruct the motorway, it is uncertain when the project will commence. In the meantime, drivers want the road to be rehabilitated and the crash barriers to be fixed in order to make the motorway reclaim its lost glory as Ghana's #1 express road network and make driving on it safe again. Rejoice Semefak Besu's report, read to you.
Let's now speak to Pearl JC, who is PRO of the National Road Safety Authority. And good morning for your time. And just straight to the point, we'd just like to know why this rather serious situation has been left unattended.
All right, thank you very much. The name now is Pearl Sasekla.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Apologies for that.
All right. Mind of the engineer, the motorway does not need a crash barrier because it is a highway which doesn't need any crash barrier as it was primarily done. But now that we all know and agree that the motorway has lost its usefulness, we engaged them some time back and they have agreed to reclassify the motorway and do some development on it so that it will take back its lost glory. But with the primary design, there was no crash barrier into it. So that is how it has been. But we all agree that it should be reclassified and redesigned to fit its purpose. So that's what they are on now.
That there were some works ongoing on the motorway, which included demolishing the toll booths, fixing the street lights. This was supposed to be a part of it, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so why has it stalled? Why haven't they been fixed?
I cannot stand here as a road safety PRO and give detailed reason why it has been stopped. But we all know it borders around budget. And so I think I may have to contact them to give me detailed reason why they stopped the development they started on the motorway.
Right. So as it speaks now, the Road Safety Authority doesn't know or doesn't have any information to share with us about when or how long motorists would have to wait before these life-saving interventions are put in place.
As I'm talking to you currently, we have engaged a multi-stakeholder meeting in which your reporter is duly here to cover, to now come and discuss or think about, discuss the pragmatic and practical way we can fix the street lights, including our traffic lights on our roads, including the motorway. And so all the experts are here from Ghana Highway Authority, Department of Urban Roads, all the concerned stakeholders, they are here. And so by the close of the day, we will know the reasons why these street lights, these rehabilitations and development has been solved and the way forward. And so by close of day, we'll have this. We've invited their directors. They are here to explain to us into details.
Possibly my final question to you. Does it need to take a program like this before the National Road Safety Authority, which we depend on, okay, we the people believe that in the scheme of things, you are our advocate. You are the National Road Safety Authority. You have been given a mandate to ensure that our roads are safe. Should it take? Should it take?
Our mandate is where somebody's mandate.
I appreciate that. My question is: should it take a meeting or an event like this before you get answers to these very pressing, urgent questions about why this has not been done?
Yeah, sometimes when you contact them, they may not give you all the details. The last time we contacted them, they said budgetary constraints. We now need the details. And so it's prudent we do it this way so that their presentations they will give us, our discussions that will go on, will give us detailed information of what is happening. There are various ways to do it, but this is one of the pragmatic ways we know we've been getting information from them, constant engagement with them. But today we are doing it, we are making it a national discourse. That's why we even invited the press to take it directly. And so we've always been engaging them. We've been going one-on-one, but this time we're making it a national discourse. That's why the media has even been invited.
Right, so as we speak now, until that discourse ends, we are unable to get real timelines to when motorists will get some relief using the roads.
Getting to the end of the year, we will not leave any stone unturned for the appropriate agencies to do what they are supposed to do to curb crashes on our roads or to reduce its occurrence. And so after this, we are going to sit with them one-on-one, press them or make them adhere to all the standards and the mandates that they are supposed to adhere to. And so shortly you will see changes. We were on Department of Urban Roads, and then they came to us privately that they've been able to gather some funds to repair the traffic lights. They started and they stopped. We went to them and the same story. So today we'll get to know why the reasons they stopped fixing the non-functioning traffic lights. And so you get to know by close of day. This is one of our strategies.
All right, and just as a reminder also, the railings that will protect people's vehicles from falling into the drains also need to be fixed. Thank you for your time. Pearl Satekla is PRO of the National Road Safety Authority. She's not able to give us any concrete timelines to when this issue will be resolved, and especially for those of you who use that route every day, you'd have to endure this for a while. But we hope that the authorities and those responsible would give the needed attention this deserves. The longer we wait, we can never tell the lives that are at risk of getting snuffed out as a result of this. Well, away from that, it's been 5 years since a trailer ran over 5 schoolgirls at Asin Chechere in the central region, killing them instantly. The girls aged between 11 and 14 were all biological daughters of a 49-year-old carpenter. He says justice has eluded him because he's poor. He opened up at a remembrance event in Accra for victims of road accidents. Benedicta Adobia Asari has more.
The girls, Eva, Vivian, Abigail, Emanuela and Lydia were sent on an errand by their school teacher during break time. As they waited on the pavement to cross the road to fetch their teacher's items, a trailer ran over them, crashing and killing them instantly.
Our children went to school and the only news we got was that a trailer had crashed them to death.
It's been 5 years since the incident, but father of the deceased girls, Yawasari, says he's still traumatized by the incident, especially because no one appears to be interested in helping him get justice.
After that, you call education director was education director.
After their burial, all efforts to seek justice have proven futile. I've lost hope. Both the car owner and the driver are nowhere to be found. The car was moved from where the incident happened after about a week, with no traces of the perpetrators.
3 days after 4 days. 1 week, number 5 can feel.
He joined a group of people who have been victims of road accidents at an event to vent his pain about not receiving justice. The event organized by Accident Victim Support Ghana and NGO sought to raise 10 million Ghana cedis to support other road crash victims.
I couldn't do anything. I was just bedridden. I couldn't move around, but with the support of the wheelchair, it gave me relief. My dad is relieved. He's not supposed to, he doesn't carry me around anymore. I go about, I come out with the wheelchair, I move around freely. I thank Accident Victim Support for the support they've given me. I'm very grateful. And I want to appeal to everyone to help support the Accident Victim Support Team Foundation, that they should support in any way they can.
Founder of Accident Victim Support Ghana, Reverend Cyril Crab, asks for support to help ease the pain of survivors and their families.
We all have to come to the table, find solutions, and part of the solution is to address it financially. You've heard the stories yourself. You can see how the victims are in a dire need of financial support. And so we want people to personalize it, personalize the crash, personalize the plight of the victims, personalize the problem that we are facing in the country, the crashes, that it can happen to you. So if you have the opportunity, what will you do? You have to support. People will repair their cars, but how about repairing the human beings? How about making sure that somebody who never paid to be in such a position now finds him or herself there? The driver could be free, but what about the victim?
And as we approach the Christmas season, just a quick reminder for all of us to stay safe on the roads, don't drink and drive. Remember that pedestrians are also road users, and be patient with them if you are a driver. Let's do some health-related stories now. Advocates are asking government to include neonatal health care in the National Health Insurance Scheme. According to them, a child's first benefit from the state is the ability to live when they are born before the 40 weeks gestation period. And denying them this could lead to their death. Currently documented as one of the leading causes of death among newborns, the advocates want government to increase funding for neonatal care as a means of ending preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 years. And this is a quest to achieve the SDG target 3.2 by the end of 2023. Hannah Odami has more in the following report.
Mothers of preterm babies often have to stay in hospitals for as long as their babies receive care. This affects their finances and general well-being. Some are thrown into a state of despair, confusion, and guilt. Olivia Sakwa has been at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital for the past 3 weeks, waiting for her third child, born at 32 weeks, to be discharged. The financial burden, she says, is draining, reason why governmental support is needed.
If you, the mother, you've been discharged, it means you have no bed to sleep on, so you have to sit till daybreak so you can take care of your baby as well. And aside that, buying drugs, going for labs, it also stresses us. So actually, if the government can provide beds for mothers being taken care of premature babies.
Aside that, some mothers continue to live in denial about the situation of babies. But Gloria Abaka, who delivered at 33 weeks, encourages her fellow mothers to give their best love to the children during these moments, as that aids the growth of their babies.
So, hospital, I
realize that when we love our children when they are in this situation, they come out faster than we thought.
An NGO, African Foundation for Premature Babies and Neonatal Care, occasionally support these mothers through diverse means to alleviate their plight. Selina Bingtum has been leading this cause.
The cost of care in the NICU is expensive. The NHIS covers very little portion probably less than 10%. And for the amount that it covers, it does not extend to essential part of care, like medication that is expensive, that the baby needs to survive. And so it is not an excuse for a Ghanaian, a baby, who is born Ghanaian at that age to die. Even if it's just one baby dying every year because of this, it is still not fair, and we can do more.
Stanbic Investment Management Services, which assured of continuous support for the mothers, also promised to be a voice so government can respond urgently by increasing investment in neonatal care. Desmond Bredu is head of client coverage.
For us, we believe in sustainability, so we are not just looking at just a one-time thing, but how can we partner other institutions, how can we echo the message, because that's where we can get to have more people come on board.
From the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, I am Hannah Odame for JoyNews.
You're watching News Desk with me, Bernice Abube-Dulansa. Business News is up next Tuesday. Thanks for staying, and in business, you cannot depend on your children. Take steps to join SNIT to help yourself when old. That's the call for workers within the informal space, as the Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Ofori Tinkrang, urges the self-employed to take advantage of digitalization to join the scheme and contribute comfortably. He spoke during a sensitization walk with the Senior Staff Association members of SNIT. Precious Semevo has more.
We are going out there to convince people, workers of Ghana, who actually are the ones who move this economy, the people who are self-employed, to let them know that SNIT is there for them, that all the benefits that are available to people who work in offices, people who are working for government, all of those benefits are also equally accessible to any worker in Ghana who helps to contribute to this economy.
Survival of informal workers during their old age with no strength to earn an income remains a concern for workers, especially in the informal sector. The Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Ofori Tinkrang, joined the Senior Staff Association on a sensitization drive on the streets of Sunyani to educate the self-employed workers on the scheme's benefits. He said parents cannot continue to depend on their children and urged them to take advantage of digitalization to save towards the future.
They are the ones who make this economy move, and they do not have any form of pension other than probably putting their faith in their children. We know that times have changed. You cannot depend on your children. They may be willing to be helping you, but even their salaries that they may be earning may not be even enough for them and their nuclear families. And that is why SNIT has come out, and with the help of the digitalization agenda that has taken a storm in this country, with the Ghana card, with the ability to remit monies electronically through Momo e-levy free, we are now able to bring our services to the doorstep of all self-employed persons in this country. The mission is that in the very near future, when you ask people who have gone on pension and you ask them, what were you doing in your active years, you would hear that I was a hairdresser, I was a caterer, I was a mason, I was a plumber, and many more.
The Senior Staff Association President, Edward Osubaini, explained how flexible it is to enroll on the scheme.
We even have what we call SEAT, that is self-employed drive. In every office we have representatives that goes up and down and then make sure that they remind people to come and do their payment. You simply have to go to any SNIT office, and then with your Ghana card, you just let them know the job you are doing and how much you are capable of paying. And then they will do the calculation for you, and then they will let you know how much you are supposed to pay. And then you can even be in your home and do the payment via Momo. So, or you can also decide to come to our office and then make the payment. So it's very, very flexible for you to even pay now.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business, Sunyani.
A leading job recruiting firm, Jobberman Ghana, through its MFIT project, plans to place over 60 young women in tech roles in the country. According to the chief executive, Hilda Nimotieku, the initiative is geared towards empowering more women to venture into the technological space. She was speaking at a diversity and inclusion roundtable event by Jobberman Ghana.
Diversity and Inclusion Roundtable event by Jobberman Ghana and GIZ Ghana forms part of activities under the MFIT project, which aims at equipping women with soft skills to make them employable. In an interview, Chief Executive of Jobberman Ghana, Hilda Nimotieku, said the company plans to place over 60 women in tech roles to bridge the gender gap in the industry.
We realized that there was a gap when it comes to the tech sector, and as an HR and recruitment firm, when we are recruiting for like tech roles, we find out that it's 80%, sometimes as high as 80% of the jobs were men who were taking part in the job. So we wanted to create opportunity and bridge the gap where we are able to place, and we realized it's not that the women are not qualified. Some of them are qualified, but they were just not getting the job. So GIZ was happy to help us to be able to put this program together. We were, like I mentioned earlier, we had 1,840 applicants who were part of this project, who applied for this project. Unfortunately, the project funding could only have 100 people in the training, so it was a tough trying to sift through, but we were able to place 100 of them in a soft skill training like you have seen this morning, talk about their testimony of what they learned from the training. And from now till March 2024, we are engaging employers to accept these women into job. I'm saying that, listen, if we can place the 100, let's do it. I mean, yes, the project is only funding 60, but why not? If we can able to put more than the people that the project is funding into jobs, this is our field. This is what we do. So we are requesting for employers who have jobs in the tech space to bring their jobs so we can place 100 women and more, and at least like we have 1,007 more. So if we want to do more training and more placements, we can always fall back to those people.
Guest speaker.
And that's how we end this edition of News Desk. I'm grateful you made time to join me. I'm Bernice Abubedulansa. I'll be back at midday with the news. Thanks for your company.